Hi there, Natalie here with Akliz hosting, and the other day I had the privilege of getting to talk to Logan, aka Profile Name 1 and Profile Name 3, about his Modpacks, Brass and Corsair, the 7 treasures. Please enjoy this conversation as we got to know Logan a little bit better and talk about everything in his Modpacks. Thanks again. Oh, you guys can hear me. Oh, hi. We'll get started in a second here. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's switch over. All right, everybody ready? Welcome on in, everybody. My name's Evil Space Bunny, aka Natalie, aka I have many names on the internet, mostly just Bunny. But today I'm here with Logan, aka Profile of Many Numbers, or Profile Name.
Everybody, 1 and/or 3, depending on whether or not I'm on Twitch or anywhere else.
On CurseForge, I think your Profile Name 3 as well.
Yeah. When I went to make the account, 1 and 2 were both gone, so I just had to keep going down the list.
I love the fact that somebody else decided to make their name Profile Name as well. There's just many of them.
It's just a legion of them, almost.
A legion of the profile names. I love it. I love it. Anyway, so we're here today with you to talk about your mod packs. You got Brass and your latest one as well, Corsair.
Yes, Corsair.
So I'm really excited to get to pick your brain today. So let's get to know you a little bit. So are you currently in school or plan on going to school for anything in the future? Maybe.
Right now I'm out of school, out of high school. I'm thinking about going back to school at some point in the future, maybe. But right now, just got a job doing sales, doing that kind of thing.
It keeps you busy and it you know, brings in the moolah.
Yeah, get a little bit of money here and there, pay the bills, all that
Good
all that
stuff.
lovely stuff that needs to be done.
Hashtag adulting. What would you go to school for specifically?
If I did go back to school, I'd probably go into engineering, like maybe electrical engineering or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. Kind of handy tool to have, or skill rather.
Yeah.
Perfect. And so what are some of your hobbies outside of playing Minecraft and making mod packs is there for you?
Yeah, I've got a couple different hobbies I'm into.
Okay.
Do a little bike riding now and then. Right now, I'm actually working on. I got this kit sent to me that I ordered. Try and convert my bike over to an e-bike. Put a motor on it and a battery and a little charging port, all that good stuff.
That's super cool. Is it hard to like put that stuff together, or is it kind of straightforward?
I'm about to find out because I've got it out of the box and looked at the pieces.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten much farther than that.
It's just
I think I will have to kind of make things work a little bit, but hopefully it's not too bad.
Hopefully not too bad, but that'd be pretty cool and also kind of handy, especially now to have like a bike, especially an e-bike, to make it, you know, commutes a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Any other hobbies besides biking?
Yeah, I've got a couple other hobbies. I play board games some. There's a local game night here in town where people play board games, go by there every now and then, and play some board games. Go up to meetups now and then.
Nice.
Recently was in St. Louis, had a meetup, played some board games up there, had a good time.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite board game of all time, or do you just like a bit of everything?
Kind of like a bit of everything. If I had to pick one, probably say Power Grid.
Power Grid. I have not heard of this one.
It's a good board game.
I just kind of got into board gaming. There's one that me and my roommates will play, and we scream at each other the whole time. It's called it's called Frag, and it's basically just like Unreal Tournament, but it's a board game. It's very weird, but it is very satisfying. What about gaming or anything like that?
Yeah, I play some video games, of course.
Hmm.
Even outside of Minecraft. Uh, like a
Shocker.
like Victoria 2, I played a lot of that. It's been a while, but they're coming out with a sequel for that. Kind of looking forward to that. See if that ends up being any good or or not.
Very
Time will
nice.
tell, right?
Yeah, right. I know with the way that most games are going nowadays, it's always kind of like up in the air for sure. But
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, so we do have some stuff here. So if you guys have any questions for Logan here, please direct them directly to Arcana, and we'll save those for the very end. And yeah,
Yep. Yep.
uh, let's see here. So let's get into Minecraft then. How did you get started with Minecraft?
Well, probably first time uh really got started into playing Minecraft would be around middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we'd have times where we'd go to the computer lab to work on stuff and end up playing Minecraft instead.
As you do,
Or
as you
after we
do.
were done. Uh, but there was a couple kids who'd, or at least one kid who brought in a an unofficial launcher, you might call it, for Minecraft, and we spread that around on some of those school computers, and they were all hooked together on a LAN because it's how they roll there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd launch it up, and then we'd open the LAN and play some Minecraft, play some bootleg middle school computer lab Minecraft.
I love that. That's such a great way. You guys just smuggling Minecraft into your school. It's the best thing.
No.
So what are some of your favorite features of Minecraft?
One of the things I like best about Minecraft is how open ended it is. It's a very open ended game. There's not really, there's no limit to what you can do and build.
Right.
Now, now you did have like open world games before Minecraft, and you also had games with kind of the procedural generation as
Mm-hmm.
well. But Minecraft, what it did when it came out, it was one of the first games to really combine the two and kind of make something new like that.
Right.
And really just a wide open world.
Yeah, you can literally play it however you want. You can be an adventurer, you can be a builder, you can do all
Yeah.
kinds of things. I like to die a lot. I'm really good at that.
Well, you picked the right pack then. The right mod pack to play next.
I definitely did.
Uh,
What are some of your biggest issues with Minecraft?
Probably the main issue I'd have at this point, and it's not a huge issue. It's almost more of a nitpick.
Hmm.
But a lot of the updates over the last handful of versions, or maybe even a little farther than that, have felt kind of superficial.
Yeah,
Which, to be fair, they've done a lot of kind of beneath the hood changes.
right.
But as far as your your content, a lot of it's just kind of amounted to, well, we've added two mobs and a structure, and that's it.
That's
They
fair.
did some major stuff. They made the changes to the villages and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, you know, feels like they're just kind of adding just a little bit here and there and
So so
just calling
I
it a day.
I'm gonna jump in here. So have you looked at 1.19? Because 1.19 snapshot dropped the other day, and all it is the latest thing is about the frogs. How do you feel about the frogs?
I hadn't really seen that yet, but I'm not too surprised.
I was like reading that after our conversation the other day. And I'm like, oh, Logan's gonna love this. I was laughing so
I'm
hard.
gonna end up becoming like the better than wolves guy at this rate or something. Uh, but yeah, frogs. You know, I mean, the obvious thing to point out is that on the modded side, you've had frogs for, I don't know, ever since Quark had
Yeah,
frogs, probably before then too. I'm sure there was a frog mod separate from Quark at some point.
I love the
Uh,
cork frog. And like when we were making SMT, Arcana wanted to disable the cork frog, and I screamed at him. I'm like, "Don't you dare!
you have
Don't!"
to have the the Quark frog. I
He's
mean,
the
you just
best.
have to.
I
I
have
mean, what else are you gonna do when it's Wednesday,
to.
right?
Exactly. Let's see here. So, what brought you to the modded community?
Well, probably my first exposure to modded Minecraft specifically would be, let's see here, probably be YouTube videos. Because,
Mhm.
for a while, that kind of content was just all over YouTube,
Right.
just everywhere. Like, everybody, what's the word I'm looking for? Everybody knows about the Jaffa Cake factory. That
Yes.
was a big one.
Yeah. That one was cute. That was really cute.
Yeah. So, so that was a big one. Another series I kind of followed some that was a little less well known. There was one. Hmm, there was a channel called Lobscast that did a series on Invasion Mod.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so they did a series on that, which that channel I think ended up kind of just dying out, unfortunately. But another one I watched a lot of was uh, Edit ZP. He had a channel, did
Mm-hmm.
a series called Deathly Hearts. Watched a lot of that. I think he still actually streams, although I haven't watched him in forever.
Yeah, I was just
Uh,
gonna say, I'm like, his name sounds really familiar, and I think I can like put a voice to him. But yeah.
'Cause all I can remember is there was a period in his channel where the only videos he would put up were like a once a year update video promising
New
more
content.
videos in the next year. Which, I can understand that, life happens, stuff happens.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite part of the modded community as like a whole?
What I like, probably what I like best about the mod community is how there's always some kind of new and creative project coming out. You
Right.
know, you have new twists on the old kind of content sometimes, or sometimes you get something new altogether, like Create. That's a good mod that's come out, just in this last kind of cycle of modding after 1.12.
Yeah,
It
I think like Create's probably one of my new favorite newest mods that have come out in the past like last few milestone uh
yeah, yeah,
editions.
yeah. It brought a lot of kind of interesting ideas to the table, and just it's just a good all around mod. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, there's always something new and interesting coming out.
Yeah, it's kind of nice because then you can also like see what other people are doing and what direction they're trying to take Minecraft.
Hmm.
And yeah, it makes it a lot more exciting and interesting if somebody else gets an idea and then you're like, oh, I could bounce this idea off of that and then do this instead and like make it your own thing.
Yeah, yeah.
What's a project that somebody else has done that you admire?
Well, another project I've seen and admire a lot would be Immersive Vehicles. That's a fun mod to play with. I played with it back around the time period where they called it Minecraft Flight Simulator. That was like very early on
Mm-hmm.
in its run, because it adds planes, cars, that kind of thing. And there's a lot of mods out there that do that. Uh, but Immersive Vehicles, it really goes all the way with it. It doesn't, some of those mods they feel, I hate to run anybody down, but sometimes they feel a little bit cheap.
Yeah.
Like, well, here's your car. you throw some coal in it, now it goes, or stuff like that.
That's
But
perfect.
with immersive vehicles, it's like cutting edge realism was the approach. Whether or not it made sense gameplay wise.
Hmm.
So if you have a car and it goes 20 miles an hour, convert that into meters per second or blocks, and a block's a meter. So if it's going 20 meters a second, it's going 20 blocks a second. So you're just completely flying over this very blocky world, and then you hit a block, jump, and crash and explode. Real fun mod, just to toy around with.
Sounds like a great time. Just exploding in cars in Minecraft. That's the next
Yeah.
thing. If you can work with like any kind of like game developer, content creator, or other Minecraft modder, who would it be and why?
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Uh, Overall, I would like to see a little bit more YouTube play of some of
Ooh.
the packs I've made.
Mhm.
Although, honestly, I don't really watch as much as that kind of content as I used to,
Mhm.
back in the day. But I'd like for that kind of thing to be out there for people to watch, and to
Okay.
kind of watch that every now and then.
That'd be fun. Work with a content creator and then you guys can work together for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Brass, which is a lovely 1.165 mod pack. Originally started on 115.2, and then you've migrated it forward.
Mm.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about that one and how you got started with that?
Well, getting started, well, like a question in the chat here. I see. What's the best alloy? Well, there you go. It's brass.
It's Brass, obviously.
After so starting at that, the rest was pretty straightforward. We just come off the 1.12 kind of cycle. We were getting into 1.14, 15, starting to
Right.
get a lot of new and interesting mods, kind of like how I was talking about earlier. And
Mm-hmm.
so wanted to take some of those and just kind of integrate them into a progression pack because no one had really done that yet.
Right.
Uh, and so got to start work on brass. Kind
Right.
of let's see here. Or what were you gonna say,
Oh,
Bunny?
I was gonna
Natalie?
say you could call me either. It sounds like I mean, just getting started, and since like 115 had just rolled out, like a lot of mods had came out because, like I told you, I had played it back then because we were looking for a continuing pack to keep going with and stuff, and we played it for quite a bit. But yeah, like nobody had moved forward with progression packs because like 1.12 there was a ton because Greg Tech was there and everybody's like Greg Tech. It must be
Yep.
progression, it must have Greg Tech, and so it was kind of a nice like uh breath of fresh air. So
Yeah. Yeah.
how would you compare your mod packs to others?
Well, probably big different. It's a progression pack, so of course you're gonna have a lot of similarities
Mhm.
with your other progression packs. But I like to feel that brass is a little bit more laid back
Yeah.
than a lot of progression packs. Like, you're talking about Greg Tech there. When people talk about Greg Tech, they usually think of like the micro crafting.
Yes.
And then you'll have a pack and people will change it and you'll have to make, I don't know, 10,000 of this, 10,000 of that. And micro craft it together and then craft it and finally get your creative items or
Yeah.
however.
And
So
then like
brass, there's nothing wrong with that, of course. But brass, it just tries to take a little bit more of a laid back approach and just kind of meander through through the mods essentially.
yeah. And like I like the way that you did the quest book in that because it's like you read a little bit of a story and it tells you what to do and it's not like do this next, do this. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a lot more chillaxed, for better lack of terminology.
uh, yeah.
But yeah, it makes it a lot less intimidating because, like, yeah, you get those Greg Tech packs like in 112, and it was just always it was always scary to do those mod packs.
uh, yeah. Yeah, the main thing with the quest book was, I didn't want people to feel lost playing the pack because, you know, if there's no documentation, it's like, just shooting you with a shotgun of content
Yeah,
with no way to kind of navigate through it. But on the flip side, mm, I didn't want people to feel like their hand was being held just
yeah,
through the whole pack. That you're just being told, okay, now do this, now do this, now do this. And so what the book does is essentially gives you a bare outline of how to get from one age to the next.
yeah,
It'll give you just the so if you're stuck or you're at the point where you feel like, okay, I've explored all I want to do in this section, let's move on. And you can go to the book, you can go to the section there, and it'll tell you how to do that and how to get to the next section and the next kind of realm of content that opens up with the
right,
next step in the progression.
right, yeah. It makes it a lot more. Yeah, it's you can nitpick and choose, and like if you want to do extensive things, you can, or you can like just zoom through it to the next one if you really wanted to.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
And one thing I also tried to do, I really tried to take advantage of the advancements
Mhm.
that are, already built into Minecraft as opposed to, some mod packs they'll have a quest mod. And so they'll instead of messing with the advancements, they'll go through this quest mod and
Yeah.
its functionality. So I tried to essentially have an advancement for every mod in the pack that added any kind of meaningful content, even
Mhm.
if it was just one or two pointing out, hey, here's something you can do now.
Yeah. It makes it a lot more yeah. I kind of like that, getting getting the advancement instead. What are some of your favorite features to Brass?
Well, I feel like it's the little things a lot of the time. Like
Yeah.
one mod I added was fishing reel,
Mhm.
and it's a very simple mod. It doesn't really do a whole lot, but all it does is when you go fishing, you cast your reel like normal in Minecraft,
Mhm.
but when you pull up the fish, instead of just getting a fish item, an actual fish mob comes out, and then you have to either wait for it to die or kill it, or
Yeah.
watch as it slips back into the water. As sometimes happens when you're fishing, if you've ever gone fishing. Uh,
It'll escape. It'll escape your
yeah,
grasp.
just a little digression here. I remember one time I was fishing with some buddies,
Yeah.
uh, with this kid's uncle or whatever. We went out fishing at this pay lake,
Mhm.
and, they stock it with catfish, and then you catch the fish, you put them in this thing, they weigh them, and then they charge you for what you catch.
Yeah.
And so he had caught this fish, and he was bringing it in, and I don't know if he like dropped it when he took it off the hook or something like that. But anyway, it got back in the water, and he jumped into the lake after it. And of course, it got away. But that's it's a level of dedication there
Yeah.
to fishing. But kind of circling around back to the pack, another small but interesting mods I added were Joy of Painting is one.
Mhm.
Very simple mod. You craft canvases, you craft a palette, you make dies and craft them onto your palette, get paint, and then you can make paintings or pixel art or just whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Hang them up in your base. You could use it to like make signs and stuff if you want to, just anything. Camera mod, same vein, except you're taking pictures of just whatever.
Yeah, you're getting your selfies while out adventuring in Minecraft. It's
Yeah,
totally normal.
there you go. Just take candid pictures of people in their bases
Right.
while they don't know you are there.
Being a creep.
And leave it on their base doorstep. You can do stuff like that. It's the little things.
Being a complete creep in your Minecraft server.
One time when we had the official, well, we still have the official server going on,
Yeah.
but at one point, someone like took a picture of me in my base and then made essentially a billboard off of off of my claim, like right at the edge with the picture blown up all big. Yeah,
You're like, please no. Please no.
yeah, yeah, yep. There you go. So yeah, you can stalk your friends in Minecraft. What more do you want?
What more do you want? Exactly. What were some of the challenges that you ran into with Brass? Like some of the issues that like any bugs that like rattled your brain, or like any mods that you wanted to work that you just couldn't get to like work in the
uh,
pack?
yeah, there were a lot of issues. There's no point trying to sugarcoat it. This was still early on in that kind of cycle of modding, so there was lots of people with
Right.
lots of new mods that had lots of new issues that needed to be sorted out.
Of course.
Like at one point, we had an issue involving data packs. That
Oh.
whenever this certain data pack was triggered, the server, if you had a server,
Mhm.
it would just instantly hang it. So I had to fix that. Had to fix one that involved certain players who had a certain model of CPU being unable to start the pack. That was an interesting one. Had to figure out which mod was causing that and just remove it.
Just get
It
it
was
out
it
of
ended
there.
up it ended up being some mod that did basically nothing. It only added like 6 decorative blocks or something like that. So just get rid of it, yeet it from
You're
the
like, get
pack,
out.
from
Get out.
existence.
I don't need those pretty blocks. Get out.
You know, it's more trouble than it's worth.
Right.
And then we also had some ones where some mods wouldn't load their internal data pack correctly,
Oh
either
God.
on the server or and so you'd have these, their machines. They would still you could still make them and place them and everything, but there wouldn't be any recipes because their data pack
Yeah.
that had all the recipes in it wouldn't load.
Of
So for at
course.
least a couple versions, had to work around that by taking all the data, by extracting the mod jar file and taking all the data packs out of that and then manually loading it with another mod.
So get it,
It's just a
like kind of
really awful way of doing it, but yeah.
like rigging it a little bit, just like you're like,
Yeah. It's like
duct
we'll make
tape.
it. We'll make it. We'll make it load whether it wants to or not. Uh
Oh, that sounds like such a nightmare.
so so lots of little issues like that had to be just hammered out
Fair.
very very violently sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair. So speaking of servers, how does Brass work on, like, how does Brass work for you on Akliz? How does it run? Since you've gotten all the
Akliz,
server issues.
yeah. Yeah, all the server issues, none of I can't blame that on Akliz, even though I might want to save face. No.
Fair.
No, Akliz, they've been good to us, and we've always had our official server on Akliz, and of course we got a referral code Brass if you wanna start your own Brass server or whatever server you would like.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, if you guys don't have a server, use code Brass. You guys can get started. So you're set. Have you set up an official server for your new mod pack yet?
Not yet. That's probably gonna be coming pretty quickly.
Okay,
Maybe even within just a few days.
very
I'll probably
nice.
announce that over on my Discord when that happens.
Okay.
So if you're interested, you'll probably want to pop over there and watch for that ping once that comes
Yes.
around. Now that'll also be on Akliz naturally. Uh,
Obviously. How long have you been with us now?
I kind of forget. I think it's been like I don't know, like a year at least. I feels like.
A year?
Not
Okay.
sure.
Nice. It's been a while. That's good. That's good. Um, let's see here. I think I got everything there. So let's get into your next mod pack here. You ready to talk
Sure.
about your
Yeah.
the amazing
Well,
brand new
let's let's
Corsair?
talk pirates. Let's talk Corsairs.
Yes. Okay. So, do you want to tell us
Peripherals.
a little bit about your brand new mod pack Corsair?
Well, for starters, it's a mod. Your elevator pitch. It's a mod pack about pirates. Uh, it's a
Yar.
1.16 mod pack, about 100 mods, so not a huge mod pack. Very, very focused on the theme,
Mhm.
which is pirates. All things pirates that you can think of that can be done in Minecraft. Try and squeeze into this mod pack. So it's out now, of course. You can go find it on CurseForge AT Launcher.
Oh,
Gonna
okay.
try and get it on Modrinth once they've got their mod pack stuff up and going.
Yeah,
But
hopefully
yeah,
that's
you're a
soon.
pirate. Yeah. But you're a pirate and you do pirate things. You go board ships, you search for treasure, you fight hordes of undead pirates, you loot stuff, find treasure chests, find keys, unlock them, and there are lots of treasure. You can drink rum on tiny abandoned islands if you find rum and a tiny abandoned island to drink it on. There you go. All sorts of pirate stuff.
Yeah, I saw the brew mod in there and I immediately started laughing. I'm like, "Oh, perfect. Of course. There's
Yeah, you have to have the brew mod. You can't have, a
obviously,
pirate mod pack and then not have at least some form of alcohol.
some grog to go with
Yeah,
your
some
pirating and
grog, some rum, some beers, something.
So, besides Johnny Depp, what inspired the idea to make a pirate mod pack?
Lots of little things, really. There was some big Minecraft servers, some of which still around,
Mhm.
about pirates and ships and all that good stuff. Like Pirate MC was one that is, I believe, still running. There was another smaller one called Pirate's Revenge, which I think is closed, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Uh, I played on those just a little bit, not a lot. Another one I played on was called Naval Battle Zone. Uh, that was less pirate themed, though. That was more.
Boats
That
and
was more like a
stuff.
World War II themed, but it was still, you
Mm.
still had ships shooting at each other. So that's pirate in spirit.
Trying to sink each other's
Yeah.
boats, take each other's loot. Still kind of
Yeah.
piratey.
Yeah, you're kind of limited on what you can do as far as fighting boats with other boats in modded Minecraft.
Right.
But you can board ships and attack the people on board and all that good stuff. And I'm sure if you had your server going, you could, split into teams, get on ships, and start shooting at each other with even if you just had to use like muskets or something. It'll work. Yeah.
Exactly. It will totally work. Um quick sidebar here. If anybody has questions in chat for Logan here, please get them to Arcana and we'll save those for the very end. So if you guys have any questions, please throw them at us. We want to hear what you guys say. Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, a couple other things
Yeah.
that also were some inspiration kind of outside of Minecraft for some of your old school kind of RPGs like NetHack. You know,
Yeah.
I like the element of NetHack where, if you're playing and you haven't played before and you haven't looked up everything on the NetHack wiki yet, uh, you're going to run into stuff that you aren't exactly sure what to do with or how it fits in
Right.
or what you need to do. So you're a little bit lost, but not but you still have a general idea. You
Yeah.
kill stuff and you go down the floors. Corsair's a little bit like that. You kill stuff, you get the loot, and then just everything else just kind of figure out.
Yeah, more loot. Get more loot.
And then lots of pirate media in general. You know, s- like the book Treasure Island. Everybody knows about Treasure Island. You got
Yeah.
the island with the buried treasure, all that good stuff. Hooks, stuff like Sid Meier's Pirates. All the stuff that your pirate stereotypes come from, archetype, whatever you want to call it.
Fair, fair archetype. I
Yeah.
like that.
So, I mean, one of the first things I did making the mod pack was just open a blank text file and make a list of everything I felt like was a must-have for a
Hmm.
pirate adventure. And then just kind of went from there and added stuff off that list until everything or just about everything was added, and then the pack was done, more or
That's
less.
perfect. That's awesome. That's such a good feeling when you make a list and it's like finished and you got everything off of it. It's like, uh, I love
Yeah.
I love that feeling. That's my favorite feeling. I love making lists. Anyway, um Notepad a must have for pirates. I love that absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are
Yeah.
some of your favorite featured mods in the mod pack itself?
There's a lot of mods I like in it,
Mhm.
naturally. I mean, I picked
Naturally.
all of them, so. But to name a couple, one I really like is Matchlock Guns,
Right.
which adds all these realistic kind of time period guns you would have had back in ye olden pirate days.
Mhm.
You had flintlock guns, wheel lock guns, and of course matchlock guns. And they're old timey guns, which means they kind of suck, but they're still guns.
Yeah.
So if you have like a matchlock gun, you're gonna have to put your powder in, then you have to put your round in, then you're gonna have to ramrod it, then you have to whip out your flint and steel and light it, and then you're gonna have to fire it before it goes out.
And then pray that it hits.
Yeah. And you can do a little better than the matchlock. You can get some flintlock guns that are just a little bit easier to use. Those you at least don't have to light with the flint and steel. They just shoot. But you still have to load them, and that takes time.
Yeah.
But they're fun to use. They aren't overpowered like you know you can't default to just kind of the spray and pray kind of gunplay method.
It's not an FPS.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Couple other mods. One would be Ice and Fire and Alex's Bobs. They kind of complement each other
Yeah,
and
very
really
much.
populate the world with a lot of fantastic and not so fantastic creatures that are trying to kill you.
Oh, yeah.
a, a very large amount of them. Not all of them, but a good chunk.
I remember when I was first trying to get wool so I can start my ship so I can like, go on my adventures and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
And I like finally found two sheep and I was like so pumped and I put them in a little fence and I didn't think anything of it. And then these tigers kept coming and murdering my sheep. And finally I had to build like I put them in a box and I felt so sad cuz they were in this box. But like I had to protect them from the stupid
Yeah,
tigers. The tigers would come and then they would eat the sheep and then they would eat me. And it was, it was so
yeah.
sad.
Yeah, tigers, they'll do that.
I
That
mean,
is
fair, but I just wanted my wool so I could go on an adventure.
yeah.
Anyway.
Should have just made a rowboat, maybe. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And a couple more I can point out.
Yeah.
One is the mod called Treasure 2, which adds all sorts of different little treasure sites and structures and lovely, interesting little chests with different models and stuff you can find, like safes and strong boxes and stuff. And they'll be locked, and then you'll have to find a key. Then you'll have to come back to the chest and unlock it, and then finally get your stuff. And all sorts of lovely little elements like that.
Also, it adds a lot of death pits and like new traps.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah, yeah. You can potentially fall into a pit and die while digging for treasure
There was one
if you
that
aren't careful.
yeah, there was one that I was like, I just had gotten a basic treasure map, and it was a vanilla treasure map, and I'm like, oh, this won't be so bad. And then I'm like looking for it, and I'm like, it can't be this far down. And I finally dig down to almost bedrock, and then I fall into this pit of lava. And then it's there in the middle, and I see it as I'm dying in the lava, and I'm like, curse you,
Just
treasure.
taunting you.
Just curse you. Yeah, and
Just
like
taunting you.
because there was all this sand and like gravel, so it was literally a death trap pit. Because like if you messed up anything, the sand would give way, and then you would fall into lava regardless of what you did. It was just, ugh. It was a death trap.
Everybody loves gravel, right? And lava and digging down. So good mod pack for that. If those are things you like to do.
Yeah, it's the perfect mod pack if you like landing in lava and digging straight down.
Yeah. And then probably one more mod that I'd like to go ahead and point out and shout out would be Wesley's Roguelike Dungeons, which adds these just beautiful, massive, roguelike dungeons you can explore.
Mm-hmm.
Find and fight all these mods. Search for keys for trying to find that sweet, sweet treasure room key. Digging down deeper and deeper into this dungeon, trying to find the boss room and all the good loot and all that good stuff.
All the good stuff, all the pirating stuff.
Yeah.
Did you have any people assist you with building the mod pack, or was it just all you?
Not really, just a little bit for the most part. I like to make my mod packs largely by myself. But of course, time to time, I'll go onto Discords and ask questions, get people's comments, and I'll also draw on resources other people have made already, and that can be kind of integrated into the mod pack. Like the ships, one thing like the ships, I didn't actually make every ship just block by block. I
Yeah.
found a ship pack and kind of adapted those. So I have to give credit to them naturally.
Yeah,
And they are
obviously.
credited in the book there.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was, it was a free use pack, so I adapted them to the mod pack.
Right.
Did stuff like that.
That's cool. That's actually really neat. I like that. So what are some of your favorite things that you can tell us about the mod pack itself? Like little things, like they could be an item or whatever.
Yeah, there's a couple things I like how they turned out. Like I ended up liking how the ships turned out because, naturally that's going to be an important part of the pack because, you're a pirate. You're going to have a ship and you're going to be going to all these other ships and looting and all that lovely pirate stuff. So they turned out real nice. And I also liked how the loot bags turned out.
Mm-hmm.
Thought had a good mix of loot in general, as well as the loot bags.
Yeah.
That took an almost obscene amount of effort. going through the loot tables. There's just so many loot tables. It's not even funny. There's like, I don't know, just dozens upon dozens. Every time just slowly whittling through the pile of loot tables, either vanilla or added by mods.
Yeah.
And just slowly getting down to the bottom.
Yeah, I know that Arcana spent a long time doing that with SMT too, and he spent like a ridiculous amount of time, and he would be like, "Oh, this is all I'm working on today," and then it's 2 days later.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you load all the loot tables, and then you find out they all error out from the console, and then you go back and do it all again.
No.
That didn't happen too often. I mean, they errored. You always had a couple.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's fair. So how long do you think the average player will take to get all 7 treasures in the mod pack?
It's hard to say for sure. I would say that at a minimum, for most people, it would take probably about 25 hours of gameplay uh, in survival.
Yeah.
I do kind of recommend that people play in hardcore mode just to get that true pirate experience of dying and having to start over again.
It's fair.
But I didn't push that too hard. I didn't try and make that the only way to play.
Yeah.
If you do play like that, I'd say your winning run will probably be about 25 hours.
By then you'll have it down for sure. You'll be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
Once
know this.
you got it all figured out. But there's definitely stuff to do outside of finding the treasures that you can kind of immerse yourself in. But that'd be a good bar to set as a minimum. I feel like
Yeah, for
for the
sure.
content there,
With like everything from like ice and fire, or is it fire and ice? I don't
something
remember.
like that.
Something like that. The
Fire and ice,
fire.
watching you,
Yeah,
all that good stuff.
and like the rogue dungeons and everything. There's so
Yeah.
much content in here. It's crazy. What's your favorite class to play?
Well, probably one of the little dirty secrets as far as making Corsair is that the classes are probably the least tested thing. Because when testing, I mostly played as human.
Okay.
Uh, but I feel like looking at what they do, the cat and the shulker would probably be two of your better classes. The phantom would be good, almost, maybe even almost too good. uh, on the
Right.
flip side, probably the worst one you could choose would be Blazeborn,
Right.
since it's, a lot of water in the world, and you're not even going to start in the overworld. But I'm sure it could be done. Where there's a will, there's a way, naturally.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I went with the kitty cat because of the jumping and the fall damage. And since I'm a dum dum and I fall all the time in Minecraft, I was like, yes, please. So
You know,
that's told me
get to be
instantly.
that cat girl pirate.
I'm gonna get a crew together and we're all gonna be cat girl pirates. It's gonna be
I'm
great.
sure there's fan art of Alex as a cat girl pirate out there somewhere. Someone has made that. I'm sure it exists. It's just a matter of tracking it down and finding it.
It's just a matter
Uh,
of time with the internet.
how much you want to dig for it, I guess. I'm sure it's out there, though.
Absolutely. What's one thing that you couldn't put in but you wanted to?
Let's see here. Honestly, I forget what the name of it in this iteration is, but there wasn't really a good mod. In the past, you've had stuff like Archimedes ship mod and stuff like that, where
Oh
you can
yeah.
take the whole structure and move it.
Hmm.
Just there's not really a good mod for that on 1.16. I think there's one called Da Vinci's, but it just didn't work quite right. I mean, it wasn't awful, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't work quite as well as I would have liked to put it in.
Right.
So, I mean, we do have ships. I believe the mod it's either simply ships or vanilla ships or something like that.
I think it's small, simple ships or
Small
something.
ships,
Yeah.
something along those lines. It did add some very nice ships, but they aren't made out of blocks. They're just kind of their own entities.
Yeah. They're pretty cute
So
though.
that would probably be the only thing that I feel like is just a little underwhelming. But overall, I feel like for the most part, I got everything in there I wanted to get in there.
Absolutely. There wasn't any like additional mobs or anything like that. No monsters in the water or in the lava.
Yeah, yeah. Another thing. Let's see here. One thing I wanted to put in that didn't quite work out because it's just not how the mods were made. I thought back to, you know, a lot of people have seen Angry Video Game Nerd. and are familiar with that.
Yeah.
There was one episode he did very early on. It was like about Pitfall, but there was a trap in one of the Pitfall games where you'd go down this ladder and then you would just fall into a pit and die instantly. And so he kind of riffed on that and he said, "Well, why not? Why have just spikes? Why not have lava and then sharks in the lava and then lightning?" And so I thought, lava sharks, we need this. And so, but apparently, it's not enough to give sharks fire resistance and put them in water and expect them to live, which makes sense.
That's fair.
Because they are water breathing creatures and not lava breathing creatures. But did not quite work out. Tried to make a similar trap inspired of it, but without the lava sharks.
Okay.
Almost works, but not quite the same.
Not quite the same, but still just a mean, sneaky trap that you have built in there.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Cannot confirm nor deny. Fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Just watch where you're going. You know.
Don't dig straight down like me, who's a big
Yeah.
dummy.
Yeah.
What is your favorite ship out of all of the ships in there?
You know, it's hard to say because there's a lot of real neat ships in there. A lot of the big galleons and treasure
Yeah.
ships and all that good stuff. But one I really like is this one Illager ship that has
Hmm.
all these little shields on it, like a Viking ship.
Yeah. That
I
one-
liked how that one turned out. It's got a nice look to it.
That one's pretty cool. I found one of those the other day and I died a bunch on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you surprised?
No, no, no. You gotta watch those Illagers. They'll get you.
They're big bullies.
You need to get you some Bane of Illagers or something like that on a sword.
That'd be perfect, honestly.
Go in and cut them up.
I get Merkless. Okay. I don't think we got too many questions from chat. However, I do have some. So, what is an airy American?
Well, most literally, it's American cheese. Because that mod that adds that, it adds just all sorts of different kinds of cheeses
Hmm.
that give you different status effects. And I believe Airy American, I'd have to double check, but I think it gives you levitation.
Yeah.
So you float after eating it. It just lightens you up so much to eat this very fattening cheese that you just float away. So, if you got your server, once you have that up and running, you find you some Airy American or make some,
Yeah.
just give it to your friends and say, eat this and don't elaborate and then watch what happens.
Trick your friends into eating cheese. That sounds so horrible, but then you get to watch them go away. So it's
Yeah.
like a win-win.
There's a lot of water in the pack. They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
They'll
They'll be
land
fine.
somewhere wet.
Did you do any kind of world gen changes for the water to add more water to it?
Yeah, I did a lot of world gen changes using Open Terrain Generator.
Hmm.
Based it off of one of their presets, Vanilla Vistas, and then messed with it to get the world gen I wanted, where it was probably more water than anything else, but still decent chunks of land
Hmm.
around.
That's nice. Okay. I think that's everything for now. I don't think anybody else has got any questions for us, and I got everything that I have written. Yeah. Do you have anything else to plug here? We got your Discord. You can
I
use.
got Discord, got Brass, got Corsair.
Yeah.
That's pretty well the main things. I've also got two other older packs. I've got Just Another Whistle Stop. That's the mod pack about trains and vehicles.
Cute.
And I was talking about immersive vehicles earlier. That was that was one in that pack. That was a big part of it.
Yeah.
And then of course there's my other mod pack Dark Age, which was the first one I made. That is not as good as the other three, but still has the most downloads. So
I
that
mean,
means it's better, right? No.
you gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we got everything covered.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for doing this today, and
Well,
thank you for hanging
appreciate
out.
you having me on, Natalie, and
Yeah,
everybody at Akliz inviting me on their stream here to interview
yeah,
Arcana and Bunny, Natalie, Andrew, everybody.
yeah. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're gonna switch over and then we're gonna end things. But thank you guys again, and thank you, Logan, for letting us pick your brain. You guys all have a wonderful evening. Okay.
See you, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching, and thanks again, Logan, for letting us get to pick your brain about your mod packs. If you're a Modpack developer and you would like to be interviewed, please contact us through the Akliz Discord, as we're always looking for new and creative people to talk to. And let's have a serious conversation about your Modpack, or not so serious. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, as we plan on doing more content like this in the future. Thanks again.